What's up? Today I'm working on this Ice-O-Matic ICE-0500. This is an old machine. I have 15 minutes to try to figure out what's wrong with it, see if it's worth saving or if it's headed to the scrap pile. First thing I always check on these older Ice-O-Matics is the evaporator. We're going to be checking for separation. And some of these are loose. You can down there a little bit. Something else that we want to do is just use our flashlight. Usually if you shine your light, you can see if there's any separation between the slats and the back wall. This one looks pretty good, although I'm sure these side ones down here are separating. You shake that, it's loose all the way up, but it's not a big deal. What is a big deal is inside some of these holes, you can see the nickel plating chipping off right inside there. That's not good. Let's see what else we got going on. The curtain switch, seems all right. Electrical box back there, some little bit of a crispy wire right there. Same up top, little crispiness. Let's see what's going on back here. This old school motor spins freely. Harvest assist, that turns. Comes back out. See if our compressor turns on or not. There was something over on this side that was pretty special. This rotten out down here at the bottom. Who knows if there's a refrigerant leak. What is this? This old tab. I wish they had the date printed on there, but it's got to be 20 years old. I'm going to plug it in, see what happens. I don't want to worry about connecting my water line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this pitcher of water. Plug this in. Okay, nothing happens. Do we have power? Maybe this outlet doesn't work. Maybe it's a bad plug. What the hell? Let me figure out what's going on with that. So good thing I unplugged it before I started messing with this, but like I said, unplugged it and opened this guy up, and there's your first issue of why you're not getting power. So what I can do is I can cut and splice these back together and then see what happens. Maybe we're pulling high amps or something similar. 1 second. Okay, got this rewired. I'm going to leave this open in case I need to put my amp meter on there. Plug this guy in, and hopefully it doesn't explode. I'm running out of time. My ice cycle is going to take more than it's running. Add some water. We're getting cold. It's really annoying. I do need to put the lid on this, otherwise it'll go off on high pressure. All right, putting the lid on helped with some of my noise issues. We are getting cold. Water is running. Let's see what that looks like. Water flow looks good. I start timing a cycle, see if it makes ice or not. Checking my amp draw. When I originally connected my clamp, it was 12.5, which is not terribly high, not anything abnormal. I think we're gonna be good. I think this says on here somewhere where my run load amps, 18.5 for, nope, that's just, yeah, our run load amp, 18.5, locked rotor amps would be 59. So we're good, we're in range. Turns out this thing's making ice just fine. I can hear the ice cracking. It's got a full sheet formed. I'm kind of worried about whether or not the timer initiate or the finishing timer have anything wrong with them, but we'll let it go for another 10, 15 minutes. And if it starts turning into a big block of ice, we'll dive into that. But if it makes ice and drops ice, then we'll just chalk it up to a couple of burnt wires. So we just cycled into harvest. Unfortunately, I did not plumb the drain, so that's going to go directly onto the ground. This is spraying out a little bit of water right here. Obviously, we don't want to get water in there, but I think we're just going to end up crashing down. One other important thing to check would be the harvest assist, which you would just open this up and see that the harvest assist is trying to press forward. So that's good. And then the sheet of ice will push forward and slide off. There it is, good shot. Sheet of ice. Harvest assist should roll to the back position. And when it gets there, it'll go from being in harvest to freeze. There you go, click. Put this back on here so we don't overheat and shut off. Oh, that's still warm. Oh, maybe my hot gas valve stuck open. Oh, yep, now we're getting cold. Took a little bit of time, but that's cold now. Yeah, I think we look good. Success. Just finished up with that Ice-O-Matic ice machine quick diagnosis. I was told not to spend too much time on it because it was in pretty terrible condition, but I did want to see if I can just pinpoint what was going wrong with it real quick. The wires in the back where the power cord is connected, sometimes if those wire nuts aren't on there all the way, or if for some reason there's high amp draw, sometimes they just get burnt, they get crispy, and then they just come disconnected, and that keeps the machine from working. All the things that I've noted on that machine, besides the fact that it's just dirty and relatively old, the customer's not going to do anything about it, because it wouldn't be worth it to replace $1,000 evaporator on a machine that is 20 years old and could have a compressor go out, or a water pump go out, or a condenser fan motor go out. So just gonna give it back to him the way it is. Ask him if he wants, us to spend some time cleaning it. He'll probably say no, and then kind of just tell him like, hey, just so you know, the machine's really old, evaporators falling apart, condensers, deteriorating, and just call us if you need a new machine, basically. So I appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. We'll see you on the next video.